Sometimes the weather is that bad that you can't photograph. We had some really heavy fog on the mountain, and sometimes we couldn't see what's ahead of us. And I wasn't in the forest to have some interesting shots, so there are occasions when I'm just wondering, what can I do over here?
When day blows me away, as soon as I turn, you've gone astray. Strangers, they've come again. So here I am, pretending it's okay. Clouds have already formed, that's all you do. Starting storms, rain is come again. So here I am, crying.
The first day on the mountain was just a simple hiking to get accustomed with the place, to feel the landscape, and to start doing some photos in the area.
Telling me you're the only one in your place. Can't you see the one has come undone? Always in
The weather was really bad, and it was also really windy, so we had to stay really low with our tripods close to the ground to avoid shaky images. Also in the distance, the clouds were covering the peak, so we were reminded that the role of a landscape photographer is not to photograph what he wants, but what's in front of him.
to put me in my place, taking away all I've ever been.
The sunrise from the next day wasn't visible. I checked the weather maps, and even if it was foggy, I decided to hike to the peak around 12. After about 30 minutes of hiking, the weather forecast came true and the fog started to dissipate. That was the moment when I had the chance to photograph the mountain in a completely different view. I didn't had the peaks coming out from the fog, and it was really, really nice. Every time we had this chance to photograph a mountain where the peaks are starting to emerge from the fog or from the mist, it will always look spectacular. And that is why bad weather makes good photos, but you have to be there.
Take my soul away, come and pretend to resonate. My fears have come again, it's all a part of your plan to harm me.
We continue hiking, and after just a few more minutes, the fog surrounded us again. But every time we thought the fog is gonna be there to stay, the fog kind of rise and gave us the opportunity to take some really wonderful and beautiful shots. In the end, before reaching the peak, the fog has fallen on the mountain for the entire day. I suspected it was about the same kind of cloud from the day before, when the peak was hidden in those clouds. And in a way it was true, because we didn't saw the sunset that day, and we were obliged to come back without some sunset photos. So I left on the mountain with a desire to photograph sunrise and sunset, but the weather had other plans. So in a way, I just relearned one of the basics lessons of a landscape photographer, and that is patience and perseverance. Do not wish for certain frames. Do not go on a place with preconceived ideas, because nothing from what you want is going to be relevant to Mother Nature. Nature is going to be the way it is, and you will not be able to change the weather in front of you. Now, because that happened, I had to be creative. I had to stretch my creativity to the maximum. And photography, you don't make it only in exceptional conditions, but you also in difficult conditions of wind, of cold, of lack of visibility. So bad weather always will bring the best out of you as a landscape photographer. So the things that you have to be aware of in the end is that you just have to be open to what's in front of you. You have to be open to see the potential of the landscape that's in front of you. I hope that you learned something from this short video and this experience of mine. And if you want to join me for one of my workshops, or if you want to learn more about landscape photography, you can check out my ebooks, or the details are on my website, and you can check them there. The link is in the description of this video. And until next time, keep on photographing, because it's the only way to get better. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.